Hi crypto kings and queens, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. In today's episode we are gonna speak about Bitcoin and why I do believe that we can either break this counter trend line and come back down to 35,100 or actually just retest it and then continues back up again against the resistance trend line. It is the weekend, so many things will not possibly happen, but I do have a sell limit order at 88.620 and I do expect the market to drop to potentially around 66.16. I'll explain exactly why I am taking this trade, and I'm also going to explain to you what I see on Ethereum. Remember, I'm no financial advisor. You need to look up everything yourself first, but please continue looking at this video and I'll show you exactly what I see on these three pairs right now. We're looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart. We saw a huge movement yesterday. We are coming back down to this counter trend line, which is the one holding the pullback. So you can see market is going down, you have a pullback, and now we could potentially see a break of this counter trend line, but based on that it is the weekend, I cannot see the market having such huge movement. But if we're breaking it, we can definitely come back down to the previous support that we did have around 35,100. From that level we just might bounce back up again to retest the same counter trend line and then continuing down, or we're coming back down to this counter trend line, retest it, and then we just might see a bounce back up to the higher time frames resistance. We can't obviously break it, but I do believe that we can come back down again. So it is the weekend, the market is very slow, but we can use these levels to see how market on Bitcoin is behaving around them. If we're looking at Luna on yesterday's live stream, I was speaking about this overall picture that we do have. We are having a uptrend on Luna. We came back down to a previous support, bounce to the upside. We had a small downtrend right here, which we did break a couple of weeks ago, and now we're creating high highs and higher lows. The market did create a higher high right here around 92 on the lower time frames. You see that we are having higher highs and higher lows being created. So yesterday we did break this trend line that is telling us we are in a uptrend. We did break this previous higher low around 87. Market created a lower low, so what we're doing, we're taking a Fibonacci from 92.90 to the lowest point at 81.72, and that is giving us new Fibonacci levels where the new potential lower high can be created, and that is around 87.17 and 88.49. So if we're seeing the market coming up to these levels, that could take us back down to 78, 71 and 66. Going to the higher time frames, we're using another Fibonacci because we can see the overall picture. The market is in an uptrend, but we need to have a pullback to create a higher low. Market created a higher high, market needs to come back down to create a higher low for then continue to the upside by just following market structure. And the higher low that can be created on the higher time frames could be around 66.29 and 71.66, and that is also combined with the Fibonacci that will create the lower high and then potentially come back down to these levels. I do expect the market to come back up and retest these Fibonacci levels and then see market bouncing back down, coming back down to the higher time frames Fibonacci, because this will only be the pullback that we're seeing, and then the market will start the impulsive move. I actually do have a sell limit order on Luna, and that is on 88.570. So I expect the market to come up to these levels and then bounce back down. My take profit will be around 66.44 because that's where I see the market potentially coming back down to and then reverse to the upside. Don't forget that you can receive a bonus on BYBIT using the link in the description down below my video. Up to $4,100 on BYBIT right now. Super good platform because sometimes we need to hold our positions for a longer time, and with that you can have very low fees or zero fees, and you're always helping Bitcoinsensus by doing that. So we are always able to sit here and share our thoughts with you here on YouTube. Overall picture on Ethereum, we came back down to the support around 2,605, 2,600, and I actually did expect the market to do that. So on the higher time frames, you can see that yesterday we did have a huge candlestick to the downside. Right now, we can also see that you have lower lows and lower highs right here. So I mean, it is the weekend, market usually not doing so much. So Either we're just taking another Fibonacci from this previous lower high to the lower low. We just might now see the market bouncing back up to 2,678 or potentially 2,694, and then create another lower high and potentially continue back down. We just might come back down to this previous support level around 2,530 and 2,605, 600, because it is the weekend and the market usually just bouncing between these levels, and very easy to get faked out because the market is just going sideways. Overall picture, I do believe that we can come back down to 2,390 and potentially 2,050. I was speaking about this one a lot of times before. We came up to the higher time frames resistance trend line. I did adjust it yesterday because we did have another lower high being created, and right now we just might have a quick pullback and then continuing potentially next week to the downside. Or just as I was speaking about on Bitcoin, we can potentially see the market breaking up too and try to retest this trend line once again and then bounce back down or break it. I do not know, but it is the weekend and I do expect the market not to do anything special, but I would still use these levels to see how the market is behaving around them. Thank you guys so much for looking at this video together with me. I hope you did enjoy it. Don't forget that me and Andy will have a live stream later today. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know when we're having our live. Like this video, comment below if you did enjoy it. I hope you're having a great day because here in Sweden, we're having a lovely weather, so I'm going outside. Mwah.